I can't believe that I have to make this video, but apparently I do have to make this video. People are not poor because they think it sounds like a great idea. People are poor because they don't have other opportunities. It's a very simple concept and one of my all-time favorite quotes that apparently I have to drill into everybody's head, including major politicians. The truth of the matter is that the idea that anyone likes being on welfare is outrageous and insulting. As a Democrat, I get called anti-American at least once a week. I can't think of anything more anti-American than the notion that some Americans want to be leeches and drains on other Americans. I don't know what these people are talking about, but my America is a hard-working one, full of people who work really, really hard despite their circumstances, who care for their families, who care for their community, who care for their country. To quote our president, we pull each other up and we leave nobody behind. I don't generalize and say that the entire Republican Party feels one way and that the entire Democratic Party feels the exact opposite way. My criticism is not so much on parties, but on this entirely wrong mentality that so many people seem to have, that everybody in this country is given an equal opportunity, and that if you're poor, it's because you didn't try hard enough. Sorry, but that's bullshit. That's complete and total bullshit. We have such a long way to go before we even begin to have an equal playing field. And to shame other Americans for not being of a particular economic status is downright the most unpatriotic thing I can possibly think of. And you can say that there are people who exploit the system, and there definitely are. That's a very slim minority. I'll take a small portion of people doing that and ensure that the vast majority of people who need it and who otherwise wouldn't get it can get healthcare, can get education, can get food, clothing, shelter, or moral support, and still have a fighting chance in this country. I'm sorry. I'm going to forever shame Mitt Romney for saying that 47% of Americans refuse to take responsibility for themselves. No, that's unacceptable. It reminds me of the whole voter fraud debate. Some people commit fraud, so we have to put more barriers for people to vote. And then when you look at it, you find out that the voter fraud that was committed in the last election was for 1,000%. Yet it's estimated that 11%, about 20 million voters who do not have state-issued IDs, will not be able to vote in this upcoming election. The vast majority of who are people of color. Minor frauds, tiny minor frauds being blown out of proportion to screw over poor people and minorities. Complete and total racism and classism. I'm a part of Junior Achievement, which is an organization that I really love being a part of and I love working with. And what we do with Junior Achievement is that we teach civics classes. I teach my class at a D-rated school. It's an elementary school with children whose parents struggle to keep food on the table. The parents of the vast majority of these kids are undereducated and underemployed. And this isn't happening in the third world country that I'm from. This is happening 45 minutes from my house here in the United States. That children that I teach are going hungry here. Their parents and teachers are trying desperately to keep this school alive because although their school is graded extremely poorly and thus is receiving even less money from the government, at least it's a safe place for these children to be. Mr. Romney, I invite you to come to Washington Shores and tell those children who don't even eat properly that they are getting a fighting chance and an equal opportunity at life. Please, I beg you, come tell them that. Come spend one day with the 47% that you find so repulsive.